What's up, everybody? Back again with another podcast of Hell No Sports. I'm Nas. That's Amir. I'm the father. He's the son. We're back at it.
Yep.
NBA free agency is getting ready to pop off. But before we get to free agency, LeBron told the Lakers, I don't want to be back.
Nope.
Where's he going?
Well, let's talk about it. So we know that he has told Rich Paul to just talk to every team in the league, but obviously he's going to want to go to a contending team and just see who all has interest in him and get back to him, and then he'll make a decision. The leading three right now are the Golden State Warriors, of course, the Miami Heat, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. So two of which we've seen him in a jersey there before. Where will we see LeBron play next year? If you had to guess right now, where's LeBron going?
The obvious choice, because logistic wise, is, and he's on the record as saying it, is he wants to play with Steph.
Yep.
It's out in California. It's a short plane flight from LA to San Francisco. He wants to team up with Draymond, his boy, and it just makes sense. Draymond has opted out of his deal to redo his contract because I think and I believe backdoor talk, him and Draymond have been talking, and Steph included, and they're trying to form this thing where they play together at the end of their career.
Yep.
There's reports about AD going out there. I don't think that's going to happen. I think there's too many already. They got Horford on the roster. They just re-signed Porzingis. They got Podzinski. They got Steph. They
Still got Jimmy.
They still have Jimmy. They're gonna have to figure out what to do with Jimmy. I don't know how that kind of fits with LeBron, but the obvious choice is probably Golden State. Now, whether they can win or not, I don't know that they could win with that roster.
I don't know if they do either. I think that's a roster that, maybe plays 14 games together, and then we're all just talking about a what if they were all healthy, what if they played. Well, that's what you're going to get with a roster full of 37, 40-year-old guys, is you might not have all of them play together. I mean, Porzingis already played, 20 games last year? Curry has been, unfortunately, hurt the past couple of years. LeBron, we know, is at a state where he can no longer play all these games every year. So that's the reality of it. As much as I want to see it happen on some Expendables last go at it kind of thing, I don't know how viable it is to winning. Now, to option number 2, Miami. Miami gets interesting. But once again, that one is like, all right, you add Bron to Giannis and Bam and Wiggs, which is a stellar starting lineup. I mean, you need to figure out the guard, but where's the spacing on that team? Wiggins has developed into a pretty decent three-point shooter, but even still, you're not. You need shooters. I just don't know how great that makes Miami. I mean, it makes Miami a top 2 team in the East, don't get me wrong, but I don't know.
I think if we're ranking the teams that are interested or potential interest in LeBron, I think it goes Golden State, Cleveland, Miami's third.
Yeah.
Dark horse. I don't know how it works as far as money. I think the dark horse in this is probably the New York Knicks, just because he's always wanted to play in the Mecca. He's gonna take a reduced salary. He wants to win. That's what's on the priority. He wants to be happy and he wants to win. But that's a long shot. In the pecking order, I think it's Golden State, Cleveland, Miami. Cleveland makes a lot of sense because he's from there and he likes to kind of glorify himself and, the Cleveland, euphoria. So if he goes back with that lineup, they could potentially win the East and he has a chance to win a title and grow his status even more. And I think that makes the most sense for him, whether he wants to do that or not. But at the end of the day, I think he lands in Golden State. I think he teams up with Steph. I think just the history that they have with the Olympics together, they enjoyed playing with each other. He said, before my career is over with, I want to be able to play with Steph. And Draymond has been on the record saying, I'd love to play with LeBron. So I think all those things combined make Golden State the
I
obvious
agree.
choice.
My dark horse, where I would like to see him go, is Minnesota. If you can get a mature Bron on that team with Melo and Ant, and you got Gobert and Jaden McDaniels, that's dangerous. That's real dangerous.
But he's 41 years old. He can't stand the cold weather. His bones will be cracking before he makes it to
That's
the
why it's
arena.
a long shot. But,
So
that would be exciting, in my opinion, is seeing LeBron on Minnesota. Um, I don't know. But I also agree. I think it just ends up being Golden State. He's, like you said, multiple times been on record saying he wants to play with Steph. Steph was his first call for Team USA when they won the gold. That's just what makes the most sense. What
it's,
happens,
it's
we'll see.
his media company is out in LA.
Yeah.
Home is out in LA. I don't think he wants to pack up at 41 years old and just uproot everything and go to a complete different location. I think Golden State is a plane ride to and from LA. If he wanted to be home that night, he could be home that night. He's got the means, he's got the funds, he's got you know, the know-how of how to kind of make it work. So I think Golden State makes the most sense as far as him being involved with everything that he's partaking in right now.
Yep. I agree. Well, next up, we missed some stuff over the weekend. First, that I just alluded to, Lamelo Ball, now a Minnesota Timberwolf. Um, how do you feel about that?
I don't like it, but it makes sense that, obviously both parties wanted to kind of part ways. I kept reading that, Charlotte wants, to get off of LaMelo. I think LaMelo wanted to get off of Charlotte just as equally. I just don't know, I mean, he's also had injuries in his career
He's
too.
had a lot of injury issues.
It's soft tissue injuries and it's stuff that keeps lingering. So, he to me, he's like a disruptor of an offense. Like he doesn't make the offense go. He just randomly chucks up threes whenever he feels the need that they need a three, and completely throws it out of
I don't know
rhythm.
about that. He had Khan getting good looks last year, and I think he can be helpful to Minnesota. I don't like the trade, but I understand it from Minnesota's point of view. They needed to get someone else in that backcourt with Ant. They get a star point guard who can distribute the ball, but also when it's crunch time, and they got three guys on Anthony Edwards, you can't leave Melo open. You have to account for him because he will knock down that shot. Um, so I like it for them. They still need more. Like, I don't know if I love the trade, but
They lost Peace. They lost Nas Reed.
yeah, I
Nas Reed
agree.
is a huge asset to an offense defensively and offensively. He's a big piece. He's a big body. So they did give up a major piece that they're moving off of. I don't know. That remains to be seen. I'm not, I wasn't thrilled to see that he went there because I think Ant is ball dominant. He needs the ball in his hands.
But he doesn't
You
want.
know,
He's had to be that way. He doesn't want to be that way. He said he wants to. He needs somebody else in that backcourt with him. I mean, if he wanted to be balled out, he wouldn't be talking about, oh, he tell the Wolves that he wants Kyrie. That was his first option.
well, Kyrie he's a better distributor than Lamelo. So
True.
I mean, Kyrie can break down and then dish. I understand where Ant's coming from. Ant's saying, I don't want to have to 90 feet up and down, bringing the ball up every single time. I want a point guard that can kind of initiate the offense and then get me involved. I don't know that LaMelo is that guy. I mean, but that remains to be seen. I'm not sold on it. I think Ant really thrives, whenever he's touching the ball consistently.
I agree, which
Um,
he still will. He's Anthony Edwards.
he will. He will.
Um, Another one, Ja Morant. Grizzlies sending him to the Portland Trailblazers for Jeremy Grant.
Get a bag of chips.
Yeah. So all he's done
Well,
there, all he's accomplished in his career, and Ja Morant only gets Jeremy Grant and somebody else. Um,
yeah,
I
some guy,
forgot who it was.
Chris Murray or whoever they
Yeah,
got with
Chris
him.
Murray. That's right.
Yeah,
Um,
it's not a sick. I mean, honestly, how the star has faded so quickly. Like
he's
this guy,
26 years old.
6 years old. You were talking about 4 or 5 first round picks just 2, 3 years ago. He was touted as being the next face of the league,
Yep.
and now you're being traded for a veteran and a backup.
You're a
Teams
salary
didn't.
dump.
Well, teams they tried to trade him to several teams, and teams were unwilling to attach a draft pick to
Yeah,
him.
they wanted the Grizzlies to attach a pick so they could take his contract on. But that's what happens when you play 79 games in 3 seasons. He played less than one full season in 3 years.
Yeah,
That's
when
what's
you
going to
shoot
happen. And you can tell that his
basketball,
bounce is not where it was. He never has been able to be a shooter. So,
shooter.
oh, yeah, I mean, he's a shooter.
When the last few years you've shot more bullets than you've shot basketballs, that's an issue. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but we'll see. I hope things get right for Ja Morant. Now, Portland, I'm a little confused. Um, Obviously they have to have other moves planned and corresponding moves ready because you now have Ja Morant, Damian Lillard, Drew Holiday, Scoot Henderson, and Shaden Sharp all on the same roster.
yeah, that's somebody's gone. That's what it's
And
telling
I'll
me.
tell you, it's not Ja because they traded for him. It's not Dame. So
It could be Dame, but
it's
I don't
not
see it.
Dame.
But Drew needs to go somewhere where he can win.
They're telling
Um,
teams they're going to keep Drew.
they can't keep all of them. I mean, what are you gonna keep? You gonna keep Scoot? You gonna keep
No,
Drew?
I think Scoot is the one that's gone.
I
And
don't
maybe
know.
Sharp too, if they try and swing like a Jalen Brown trade or something. Who knows? I don't know. Portland, they don't move the needle for me. They're kind of playing team. Um, don't really know. I mean, I guess they're planning to have Ja play the one and Damian Lillard kind of in a two role now, like a spot up. We'll
Well, don't
see.
forget have that Danny Avia kid too. So
Yeah, he never really has moved the needle for me either.
no. I mean,
I think
he
he's a
was
little overrated.
he got some playing time because they were thin, and that's just the way it goes.
Don't get me wrong, he can create his bucket, but he succeeds off of purely just crying his way to the line. That's how I see him. Um,
He took advantage of playing time, that's for sure.
yeah, he did. Once more, we have the one today, the Claw, Kawhi Leonard going back to the six, back to where he wanted. Really shouldn't have left, but that was his decision. I think he knows that, and that's why he's going back. He told the Clippers in the league that there was only one team in the whole league he was going to sign an extension with, and it was Toronto. The Clippers will be receiving Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick, 2 first-round picks, a pick swap, and 2 second-rounders for Kawhi Leonard. Made out pretty good, if you ask me.
Great.
Yeah, I like it.
They're stacking picks now, so the Clippers I think are primed to kind of start shaking and baking here in the next couple of.
I got a side note for you. Clippers, obviously in a rebuild now. They don't own their pick this year, and the team that has it completely unprotected. You know who has the Clippers pick with that bad roster they have, unprotected?
Who, the Pelicans?
Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That Paul George trade just keeps hunting them.
Oh,
that was Kawhi orchestrating that trade.
It was.
That was Kawhi wanting them to go get Paul George and get rid of Shea and attach all these picks, and because he wanted his boy, and it's still haunting him.
Yep.
You know, so I
Well,
think
that wasn't. Kawhi said he would only sign there if they got Paul George, so that was basically them trading all those assets for the both of them. But to give the Clippers credit, they went for it. Did it work out? Hell no. But they went for it, and sometimes it just goes that way. As for
I think Clippers are very, very smart right now, selling high on Kawhi Leonard.
yep,
Yeah, he's played the most games he's played in the last 4 or 5 years. You might as well sell your asset now and get what you can and stock them picks.
yep,
While you can get something back that you gave up. And kind of start that whole rebuild. So I think it makes perfect sense for them. Smart move by them. I like what they did.
as for the Raptors, I also like it for the Raptors. I don't. Bi, um, yeah, he really didn't fit in Toronto. Some Bi is a piece I think you're perfectly okay with moving off of for Kawhi Leonard. Grady Dick hasn't really done anything. The picks kind of hurt, but you're looking to contend. I think the Raptors are now a top 5 team in the East, top 4 team in the East. I really, really, really like the combo of Kawhi and Scotty Barnes. Um, I guess they're planning on starting quickly at the 1. RJ Barrett at the 2. I think they should maybe look to move RJ Barrett for um, an upgrade. I guess they have Jakob Pertl at the 5. And they still have Colin Murray Boyles, the rookie who played very, very, very well. The Raptors are a nice team in the East. They'll give some teams problems. And then obviously we saw Kawhi go to Toronto already, and when he did, he's coming off the best season of his career. I'm never going to doubt him.
Yeah, well, you got to hope and pray that he stays healthy, and that's the only way that trade works, and it looks good for them because Scotty Barnes can't carry that team by himself.
No.
You know, and at least Bi gives you, somewhat of an offense. He's a big body. He can get a bucket. So they better hope Kawhi stays healthy. That's the only way this trade works. If Kawhi goes back to being Kawhi, where he's got some injury and then, he disappears off the face of the earth because he wants to train alone and be sheltered and not come back for 5, 6 months, they have a problem. But for his sake, I hope it works out.
I agree. And um not trade news, but Pistons big Jalen Duren requested out of Detroit after feeling lowballed in contract negotiations.
All places.
He would prefer to go to the Kings, which I mean, if you're asking to go to the Kings, the reasoning is obviously money. You have to think he's probably asking for a max. He was an All NBA guy, All Star guy, and Detroit's saying hell no because you gave us 9-5 in the playoffs. How do you feel about that?
I think it's both ways. I think, yeah, they feel like, what, yeah, you kind of disappeared in the playoffs. But you got to understand, too, that he was pretty much sidelined in crucial times in the playoffs. Like, they pretty much sat him on the bench and said, we're going to go without you.
I think they had to at a certain point.
If they had to. I mean, sometimes you gotta ride that valley to come up, and if that's the guy that got you there all year and you're used to playing with Cade, he's been in the lineup all year, he's been dominant for you, he showed what he can do, you kind of break the offense down and it gets kind of dysfunctional at times, and it looked that way. Yeah. It looked that way. Yeah. Sometimes it looked, Cade didn't have that lob to Jern, or Cade didn't have the comfortability to be able to facilitate certain things because he was so used to doing things a certain way with a certain guy for so long that all of a sudden you relegated him to the bench and you told him, you're not fit for us right now because you're not producing, and I think he's a little hurt by that. I think he's kind of like, all right, I gave you guys everything, during the year. I've showed you what I can do throughout the whole year, and you want to kind of just relegate me to the bench at the most, crucial time of the playoffs. So that's why I think he's playing Detroit's hand. I'm gonna go out to Sacramento because they want to pay me, and if you guys want to match that, then you're gonna have to come off the bank.
Yeah.
It's as simple as
I
that.
mean,
You know,
he
I mean,
apparently he's meeting with the Lakers as well. I'm sure he'll meet with multiple other teams. I mean, as he is a restricted free agent, and Detroit can always just say no and match the contract, and he's
he,
back in Detroit.
he's playing it right. It's his time to cash in, and you do what you have to do. You know what? If Detroit is not coming to the table with showing you your worth, you got to kind of explore free agency and make them, pay you. If they don't want to, then obviously they have no interest in you, and
Yep.
somebody else will. And if it's Sacramento of all places, now don't get me wrong, I think Sacramento is low key making moves. They are out west, which is going to be tough, but I think you know their new GM and BJ Armstrong, I think they have kind of a plan to get this franchise and make them relevant. Um, I like what they're doing. I think they're going about it the right way. Um, and who knows? I mean, if he makes it, where they pay him a boatload cash, he's probably going to sign the deal, and Detroit won't match it. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Detroit, no matter what, matches and then sign and trades him um, to wherever. Um, I wouldn't hate it for Detroit, if the sign and trade is like Sabonis. I don't think.
that that would be the only way it works, and I think
Yeah.
that's what's floated out there anyway is Sabonis. I think that's kind of run its course out there in Sacramento, and
Mm-hmm.
they can kind of get a little bit tougher.
Sacramento's
Um,
trying to get young. They got Darius Acuff. They got Renaud, the rookie last year. They could add Duran and I
that's
mean they
that's
still have Zach Levine, and I'm sure DeMar DeRozan is out, but
that's not a bad combo. Bring A Cup, Zach Levine, and Duran.
do they
You
win
know,
anything? No, but
I mean, I think they're a few years away from, but I think
yeah,
I like what I think they're going about doing it right. Like, you know what? Let's go get a proven vet, and let's pay him.
yep.
And let's put him with our young guys. We got A Cuff that we drafted. So let's build this the right way. I think they're going about it the right way. Whether
Yeah.
he ends up there or not, that remains to be seen. But I think I like what they're doing. I mean, they're showing interest obviously, and he's showing that he's willing to listen. So there's some smoke there. So
We'll see. And then,
we
uh, as of us recording this, free agency has just opened. Top free agents on the board. Obviously, we've talked about LeBron. We've talked about the guys who've been traded, but there's Russell Westbrook. There's Bradley Beal. There's Chris Middleton. Vooch. Anthony Simons. Mitchell Robinson.
Simons is going to the Heat.
I wouldn't hate that.
There's been strong interest in him. I think they're floating Tim Hardaway Jr., Mike Conley, and Klay Thompson, along with Simons, to fill out that roster. So,
Clay's under contract, no?
who?
Clay.
Is he?
I don't know, but I got Pelicans news. DeAndre Jordan re-signing for his 19th season. Get that leader back in the building. He's just going to be in a coaching role. He's a Udonis Haslem at this point.
Good vet. He's a good vet.
Great vet, especially for Derek Queen.
And he, when he did get some minutes, he showed that he could still kind of, body somebody. So
Yeah, I mean, you don't hate it. Definitely
by the
don't
way,
hate it all.
up 2-0. So they're on their way.
France,
World Cup. Yeah, but we'll get to World Cup.
we will.
The DeAndre Jordan is the biggest one. You got Walker Kessler, who's a free agent. Looks like the Lakers are interested in him. They
True.
got 50 in cap space. So we'll see where that goes.
Who knows? I mean, you can only speculate.
I'm really honestly, I'm kind of waiting for the biggest one to drop. I'm kind of waiting to see what happened with Jaylen Brown and how that's going to play out, considering that, he knows he's been dangled, and where is he going to go, and who's going to come up and
Yeah, he
trade for.
started being vocal about it now. I mean, he posted stuff about, the Celtics not valuing him, and he was liking stuff on Instagram about the Celtics need to trade Jaylen Brown to a place that'll value him and appreciate him, and can't blame him.
Yeah, I agree with him.
Yeah,
I agree with him 100%. I mean, you know, you showed that you are a top 10 player in this league. You showed that you can carry a franchise by yourself at times. And you're a two-way player. I mean, those are not exactly rolling off the assembly line.
nope.
You're a guy put on the defensive end, and you can get your own on the offensive end, and you can get it better than most guys can get it. So, uh, man, if I had a franchise and I had some cap money, I'd be jumping all over that. Like I'd be wanting into the Jaylen Brown sweepstakes like yesterday, and I'd be willing to trade one of my guys just to go get him. But it has to be the right situation for him.
I agree. We've talked about Jaylen Brown a lot, but still yet to see any resolve with his situation. Still yet to see anything with Trey Murphy. A lot of question marks still floating around the league as far as the trade market. We're getting more and more answers every day, but to say it hasn't already been an exciting offseason is a lie.
That's a fact. We'll see what pops off. I'm really excited to hear and see what Miami does. How they fill out the roster. Um, I think the first year might be kind of one of those feeling out year, kind of when LeBron came over there, and then the second year is usually when guys kind of say, "I want to go play with this team with that guy," and see where it goes from there. But anytime you put Bam and Giannis together, got a
I
good
mean, they
start.
just paid Andrew Wiggins too. He got his money. He's coming back.
And they're trying to re-sign Norman Powell if they can get off of Nikoli's Jovic's contract.
True, which I wouldn't hate. You just need shooters around that team. Simple. You need a guard that can distribute the ball, and you need shooters.
I think they'll find that. They're good at that. They're not you know it's like who doesn't want to go live in Miami, you know? And meanwhile you got by the way, you get to play with Bam and Giannis. So
Yeah, and
not a
maybe
veteran. They're
maybe
gonna
LeBron James too. We'll see.
maybe. I mean, who knows? I mean, hey, crazier things have happened. He left on a sour note, just like when he left Cleveland on a sour note, and he felt like he needed to go back and remedy that. Maybe that's in the back of his brain, and Pat Riley's on the record saying, you know what, I'll leave my shiny gold key under the mat if he decides he wants to come back. So,
Might be all you need.
um, I mean, that's where he learned how to win. And now that he sees he doesn't have to carry the load, he's got Bam, he's got Giannis. He played with Bam on the Olympic team, so it's not like he doesn't have familiarity with them. So, I think that's a possibility. It's a long shot, but it's a possibility.
Yep.
It remains to. So we'll see where that goes.
Yep. All right. As for I'm reading now that the Pistons have offered what the franchise believes is the most lucrative contract possible for their all-star restricted free agent Jalen Duren, and are not interested in any sign and trade deals and will match any potential offer sheet he signs.
So they did offer him.
Nope. Well, they have offered him what they believe is the most lucrative contract possible for him.
So they're pretty much saying the ball is in your court, Jalen.
I don't blame. I mean, you just won 60 games. Like, why are you letting this thing fall apart?
I don't think they're letting it far apart. I think it's both ways. I think he wants the commitment from the organization to say, you know what, you guys value me, then pay me.
Yeah.
If you don't value me, then you know what, I'll go find somebody that's going to pay me and they're going to value me. Because if they're paying me, then they're obviously valuing me a little bit more than you guys. And then it's up to you guys to figure out whether you want to match it and then sign and trade and get somebody less than me, or if you think that's the route you want to take. I don't know. He could be hurt, behind that, playoff fiasco about, getting benched in crucial times because they felt like, he wasn't part of the offense that was, and he did. I mean, look, at the end of the day, you got to produce in crunch time, and he didn't. I mean, he didn't do it. Is he a bad player? No. Do those guys? Can you find them? Every day? No. I mean, he's proved that he's worth. Um, and don't forget, they already traded Isaiah Stewart. So if
Yeah.
during, it's like you're gutting the whole interior of your whole team. Like
Yeah.
you have no backup plan, and Sabonis is not going to solve that by himself. And possibly Tobias Harris might be gone too. He's a
Yeah.
free agent.
He's a free agent.
So, I mean, all your length and all your defense is pretty much gone. You need Jalen Duren then more than Jalen Duren needs you. Especially with that young core. I don't know. That's kind of a tricky situation. We'll soon find out though who's paying him, but he's gonna
Yep.
get paid. Either way, he's getting paid.
Yep. Well, I don't know how much more NBA we have to talk about. Um,
Nothing until something major breaks.
yep. So the World Cup group stage is finished. Knockout stage has gone on. We've already seen Germany eliminated. Probably the biggest elimination so far. We saw Japan go. We now see that Tim Hardaway Jr. is signing with the Miami Heat to provide the organization with the spacing needed for Giannis Antetokounmpo. So you literally just said it, and we're here. So Miami lands Tim Hardaway. I like it. Literally all you need is spacing. They're already getting ahead of the ball and getting it done.
The funny part about that is he wears the same number as his dad.
Oh, really? Is it retired?
Yeah, number 10. And the number 10 is retired too.
Yeah. And so, well, the thing for LeBron that would be funny if he decided to go back is 23 is retired in Miami and 6 is retired league wide. So
If his dad has come out already and said, hell no, I ain't giving him that number. He can find a new number, but that number is staying in the rafters. It ain't coming down.
yeah, I don't blame him.
Yeah, I was there. I watched senior play. Exciting, boy. He that was some exciting ball. Coming down through the legs 2-3 times, arching three, nothing but net. That was
Yep.
Tim Hardaway.
Well, now you got Junior, and hopefully he can just hit threes for Giannis.
I mean, that's his specialty, man. That's what you're gonna need. Shooters. You're gonna need people like him. Can you imagine if they can land like Clay and Tim Hardaway? You already have a team that can shoot, and if you can somehow keep Norman Powell, come on, man.
Nah,
That's
Detroit traded away Isaiah Stewart, I would send in Jovic for Duncan Robinson, bring him back.
I'm not worried about Dunk. Look, we find shooters, man. We find shooters.
Yeah.
We've proven that we find shooters.
Back to
So
what we were saying about the World Cup. Mbappe just scored again, by the way. 3-0 France right now.
yeah, going for
So, killer slate of games yesterday. Brazil besting Japan and the 95th minute.
heartbreak.
Paraguay and Germany go into PKs along with Morocco and Netherlands.
That was a banger.
That
Morocco
was a great game.
That was a banger.
If you had, now that we've seen the group stage, these aren't blind predictions. Who's coming out on top, in your opinion?
the lead dog for me is gonna be France.
Yeah, France looks really good.
France is. I mean, look, they got they got two horses, man, that they could run with anybody and they can score
3.
with
Don't
anybody.
forget about Elise.
Yeah, at least say, but I'm talking about, these are guys that could. These are guys. These are thoroughbreds, man. So they just got too many options. It's like, you watch Mbappe run, and it's almost like he gobbles up grass
He's
at a
so
pace
fast.
for.
Yep.
It's like he leaves the defender in his wake, and it's like he's so big and he's so fast. He could be behind the defender and put a ball through, and he's blazing by him. So that's tough, man. France is tough, but hey, it's the World Cup. These guys, all these teams are there for a reason. Anybody can get beat. Germany got sent home. France got sent home. I mean, Japan got sent home. Uh, Netherlands got sent home. So
All right.
this is what I didn't understand yesterday, and I think Zlatan, touched on it yesterday during during the halftime. Their manager is an Italian guy,
Hmm.
Netherlands.
Hmm.
Zlatan played 3 years in the Netherlands, and he said through all of our training, we were always programmed to attack, attack,
Yeah, they didn't
attack.
play to their identity. He kept saying it, and I agreed with him.
The Netherlands were playing not to win. I mean, they were playing not to lose, and changed up their whole strategy. Where you could tell the dominant team was Morocco. They were playing to win. Like
Yeah.
they were, especially in the second half, they possessed the ball like 78% of the time.
Yeah.
And, touch, go, touch, go. They had numerous opportunities to score,
Yeah.
you know. But you know what? The better team won. The better team came out on top. But, as far as who's going to win,
Right
he
now,
at the right time.
yeah. I mean, right now, if I had to guess, I'd just say France has looked the best. I'd say France. There's Argentina looks really good. Messi just doesn't age. Um, Brazil, I don't know if they have enough to get it done the same way. I don't know. Like
They
Spain was
have
my
enough.
pick pre World Cup, and
Enough.
and
They just
Spain is kind of. I feel the same about Spain that I feel about Brazil. They're just not giving the results that they should be getting. Um, Whereas I feel like France has gone in every game and done just about what they should do, besides their first game. But
Yeah, I mean, Spain is known as a very, very precise passing team, creating
yep,
opportunity, putting through balls. You haven't seen none of that this year. It's almost like, there's a key cog that's missing in their offense, and they can't get untracked. Like, it's like you're waiting for it to happen and it's not coming. Kind of like what Germany was. Germany just looked like they didn't have a chemistry on the pitch to kind of go. And it's the reason that they got upset. They played a team that was very, very good defensively. They clogged the middle and they took advantage of their opportunities.
I
In
think we'll see
Spain,
it Thursday with Spain. I think it unlocks with Spain.
look, I've watched them 3 games, and all 3 games they're not impressive. You could look at a team. I could watch France, and I could tell you they're impressive. You know, I can watch Norway, and at times they look impressive. They're lacking in certain departments. Same thing with England. England's got some opportunities, and they got some guys on the team, but it's like, which England team is going to show up? You don't know which England team is going to show up.
Yep.
And I don't want. I know what France team is showing up. And that's a
Yeah.
scary thing. Brazil's the same way. Brazil looks like they could be dominant at times. I mean, the other day it was pretty much 1-0 Japan. Brazil scored, and right after they scored, it was full
Full
court
go.
press. I mean, you started seeing volleys coming in from both sides and headers. That's the Brazil I like to see.
Yep.
That's the Brazil that can win it all if they play to that style. They do have guys on that team that are going to be able to kind of step up. But if that team shows up that showed up in the second half, they can play with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing they're lacking is, they're a little weak on defense sometimes, and they can be exposed. If you have a counter really quick on them, they can be exposed. But golly, they got the offense to kind of put pressure on you and show up and be dominant. Um, Same US. US has got a great team. They got great players, but which US team is going to show up?
Yep.
You know, is it the team that showed up and was dominant in the first game, or the team that played against Paraguay and it looked like they were dysfunctional? I don't know. I don't know which team.
No, U.S. looked good against Paraguay. Got the
Was it
wrong
Paraguay?
game.
Oh, who they played? Who they played? It looked. It
The
looked
most
like
recent one.
a sink. They just didn't look. Let me see who
Oh,
they played.
they played Turkey. No, yeah, Turkey.
Played Turkey, and Turkey beat them. Turkey beat them at their
Yeah,
own game.
that's who they didn't look. They beat Paraguay like 4-0, 4-1.
Oh yeah, they played Australia. That's who they played.
They still won that game like 2-0.
Yeah, but it wasn't impressive too.
Okay, well, that looks like it's going to be all for us. Nothing really popping off in free agency right now. We don't have anything to come to you with the Saints.
Still do that.
Still who that. If you didn't see, we actually I had an exclusive interview with Mississippi State quarterback Kamario Taylor. Check that out if you haven't. Big hopes for him. But that looks like it'll be all today. You got anything else?
No, I mean, waiting on breaking news with the NBA, and
We will be back this week with just a recap of the first wave of free agency. But yeah, we will see y'all later.
peace.